Heart first leadership isn't what you say, it's how you show up, how you regulate, how you communicate, and how you execute when it matters most. We are Heidi and Ryan Sawyer, and you are listening to the Heart First Leadership Podcast.
Welcome back to the Integrated Mindset Podcast. I am Ryan Sawyer here with my co-host, Heidi Sawyer, my wife, and we're excited to bring you another, what we see to be a transformational topic. Again, today, it's something that we have practiced and that has completely transformed how we see ourselves, how we see each other, and how we operate as a family. And so, before we get started here with the topic today, I just want to encourage anybody to hop in and take a look at our community. It's a free community to join, IHP, or Integrated Human Performance Community. You can find the link at ihpcoaching.com is our website, where you'll have access to not only get into the community, but obviously our breath and meditation course there. We have an online self-paced 6-week course. We have our integrated performance for leaders programs that really is for parents. It's for us all to become the best versions of ourselves so we can show our children what is possible. We become mission-centric families by us all individually doing the work. And I think that's the end goal or the big outcome that we're after here. We're just gaining so much more clarity, like day in, day out, podcasting, doing the work, talking to clients, and projecting ourselves forward, saying like, where are we going? And we're going to a place where we're becoming more and more clear about what our mission is as a family and how much fun this is to navigate to where we want other people to do this individual work that allows for your family's mission to be exposed. And you now know what lights you up. How do you want to spend your time? How do you feel connected? What gives you confidence? What allows for you to step out? And so today's conversation is one that is, it's really quite interesting and unique. This idea that I see you. So first of all, I see you.
I see you.
I see you.
Hi.
So where did this start? This started from a place when I came back from my yoga certification with Mark Divine and Catherine Divine, Kokora Yoga. It's a type of yoga / kind of martial application, body weight exercises that Mark Divine used to teach. They don't do certifications for it anymore. I think there's only 25 or 30 of us in the world that are even certified. That is very integrated type of training. It's breath centric, it's visualization, it's yoga, it's qigong, it's all these different things. And one of the conversations came up about connection to self, to ourself first, and then connection to others. And so this idea of I see you starts with acknowledging and showing compassion and being able to integrate these parts of ourselves that have become separate because of things that have happened in our lives from our childhood traumas. And when I say the word trauma, understand that doesn't necessarily mean that there was some physical abuse or emotional abuse, but just like traumas can be something as simple as when you're an infant and your mom walks out of the room. I mean, it can be, traumas are constantly happen, moments where you took on a limiting belief about yourself, which creates these separate parts.
Yeah. A moment in time where your nervous system wasn't able to keep up with what was going on.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Trauma happens I always tell people trauma happens in the nervous system, not the event. So what was traumatic for one may not be for another. So it's important not to compare and judge and think, well, I haven't really been through anything, so I don't know why I would have that limiting belief. We've all been through something, and it's the meaning making that we assign to what happened.
Yeah, nobody gets out of life unscathed.
Right.
Right. And even, so I can relate to that. I love that. Mm-hmm. Thank you. The nervous system is where everything gets imprinted, right, into our current experience of life. And so these parts of us become separate. What is a separate part? What does that look like for you? Okay. So for me, and now let's see if you can, and I'll let you simplify it even more. For me, it's those moments of doubt. It's moments of fear. It's moments of judgment. It's when I am operating in one shape or form from lack, right? When need something to be different than it is for me to feel okay. When there's that inner critic, somebody may call it, where it's like, oh, you're not, who do you think you are? You're not good enough. You're not experienced enough. You don't have the right education. You're not tough enough for that. Whatever, all the different things. You're not smart enough. That was used to be a big one for me. So all of those pieces are in some way, shape, or form. Some could be based upon our just humanness, that we have this survival mechanism that wants to conserve energy and keep us safe. But a lot of it has to do with these parts of ourselves that are separate from the truth of who we really are, what we're truly capable of, what our true potential is. And, we're not going to go into a ton about like shadow integration in this podcast, but what we do want to just introduce is when you recognize these narratives, the inner domain that's happening will feel like a disturbance. It'll feel constricted. It'll feel dense. It'll feel potentially dark. It'll feel limited. When you notice those, like rather than going to the automatic default mechanism of distraction, of redirection, of suppression, is to legitimately just say, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we suppress, when we avoid, when we deny these parts of ourselves, that is a part of who we are, does not define who we are, but it's just a part of who we are. They actually will gain energy in our lives, right? They will actually
that inner critic will gain energy by paying attention to what it's saying,
or trying to act like it's not saying that.
Mm-hmm. Resisting.
So a level of non-resistance, which is actually in the law at some point we'll dive deep into. It's a rather quite confusing law, to be honest with you. This idea of non-resistance, like, I'm going to look at it. I see you. Right. Mm-hmm. So let's just give an example. Examples are always good, right? Let's say that for me, I am about to step on to a stage and do a speech. That's always an easy one. A lot of people are afraid of public speaking.
Sure.
And so years ago, when I first started to step on a stage and speak, it was some voice inside of me saying, oh, don't say the wrong thing. Oh, what are they going to think about it? Are they going to like, I really hope they like it. Oh boy, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? I don't think this is necessary. All the kinds of things as I'm sitting there waiting to be introduced. When this started years ago, it was like a 5-minute sharing of my story at a Unity church, is where at the time we were going to a Unity church. And so that's where it started. So, eventually it progressed to where now I'm speaking in front of 200 people at a mental health convention. And then so the voice gets even potentially a little bit stronger and the nerves happen, right? And so there's the voice, there's the narrative, there's the story, there's the characters, but then there's also the inner disturbance, like a tightness in your chest, the sensations, because again, and you'll continue to hear this if you're following the podcast on a consistent basis. Like, thoughts aren't necessarily creating the feelings. It's the sensations, the inner disturbance inside of your body because of the environmental and feedback that's creating the models, that's creating the flare up, and therefore then feeding into these narratives. So when I say I see you, what I'm talking about doing is I go, oh, the narratives sometimes are easier to recognize initially. It's just easier for us to relate to ourselves from our head a little bit. So then we drop in. We drop in and we don't try to resist the noise. We don't try to resist the critic. We don't try to instantly redirect it and just say, oh no, because that's suppression, right? And maybe there's a moment in time when we're in high performance and we don't have time to say, I see you. Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. We got to just redirect our thoughts to something positive and get up on stage. Like when you're on the stage and ain't got time for it. This is kind of those moments leading up to something that's emotionally charging, mentally hard. So you sit behind it. Legitimately, you sit behind it. You kind of you relax into it. allowing it to be there fully, and you say, I see you. Now, this is again, a topic of really what we're talking about is of like letting go, of surrendering, of no longer attaching or identifying and getting caught up in the characters and the narratives of these separate parts of us, because in all reality, they maybe had served us to some certain degree in our past, but we get to decide if they play a part in our lives today, right? And so by doing that, it softens them. If you do it over and over, like they legitimately just get softer and quieter, because a lot of times the thoughts, the sensations, the emotions, the feelings that we label. So the sensations are when we label something, let's say fear, we label something doubt, we label something judgment. It's just the actual label we're placing on the inner experience and the sensations and the constricted or dense or expansive feelings that we're experiencing inside of our body, that then now we try to understand it, right? When we're able to just say, I see you, like there's a level of liberation that's happening. And this is a very simple technique that just allows for those things to dissolve a little bit. And when you begin to let go of those separate parts, then it's like cleaning the windshield. It's like cleaning the windshield, and you're able to see out it more clearly. You're able to see out more clearly. You're able to then see more of what is true and operate from that place rather than continuously staying stuck in the characters and the narratives that is being played out by those separate parts.
Mm-hmm.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Anything to add to that?
When I'm feeling separate, when I'm feeling disconnected from the truth of who I am, and I'm buying into some of that stuff, I notice how it shows up for me is self-judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And that causes me to shrink, to hide, to compare.
Oh, definitely.
To judge and to blame.
Going back to the kind of a victim orientation a little bit.
Yeah. A few episodes back, I think this is maybe number 24. We talked about that.
So it's going to happen.
I notice it's showing up for me is like all of those ways that I begin to show up that are not the truth of who I am.
Yeah.
We are all leaders. If you're ready to stop waiting and start impacting your environment in a powerful way, we want to connect with you. Click the Book Now link in the show notes to book a call with a Heart First coach and discover what Heart First leadership can look like in your life and in your environment. Now back to the show.
So a lot of people would condemn that, would judge that, would then try to suppress it and redirect it. What I'm saying is the fastest way for that to liberate is to legitimately say, I see you. Because it's all it is. Okay. And I didn't finish my thought earlier. I just realized thoughts and sensations are stress trying to leave your body. Whatever is coming up, the narrative and or the inner domain experience of constriction, of a tightness in your chest, of a frog in your throat, or whatever that is that we call like a sense of anxiety or nerves or whatever it is, right? Is legitimately the part of you that is ready to be seen and is ready to be healed and is ready to be liberated. So when you step out and you do something that's uncomfortable, that's unknown, that's unfamiliar, we do this. It's actually called we set goals to awaken our soul, because it legitimately brings up the experience of what needs to be healed. And so in that moment, it's like, yes, we can actually celebrate it, because I now know that if I have the courage to sit behind it, relax into it, and release it by saying, I see you, like authentically looking and saying, I see you, taking your attention inward and saying, I see you to yourself. That's what's going to allow for the roughness and the ruggedness and the rigidness around it to soften because it's all it wants. It's all it wants is to be seen. And I think this is true for all people. We all just want to be seen.
Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give you a little story. So when I learned about this idea, I see you, it was initially introduced to me as a practice that we would use with our loved ones because we are constantly changing. Like legitimately, you're not the same person that you were yesterday, right? We just made some business decisions just 40 minutes ago that is changing who we are because the level of commitment that we're making towards our mission, right? Like,
right.
We're different than we were an hour ago, right? So for me to think that I know who you are today is me being very ignorant to the fact that like you're constantly growing, you're constantly changing. So for me to make it a practice on a daily basis, and I used to do this religiously, was to say, I see you. Now, here's the interesting piece. This is about 4 years ago. So my kids were like 5 and 4 years old. And it was beautiful when I got down on their level and I connected with them straight in the eyes, and they were doing what they're doing, and they're, maybe, and it wouldn't have to be in a moment where they're kind of having a fit or anything else, just for no reason. Where I found it to be the most beautiful experience for no reason. We're in the kitchen, we're getting ready for the day, and I'd get down on my knees and say to my son or to my daughter, I see you. And they'd kind of look at me like, what? And then I'd say, I see you.
Mm-hmm. I remember when you started doing that. And
I could feel their energy shift. I could feel this softening happen. Like, oh, you do? Like that's, they didn't say that, but that's what it felt like when like our souls were communicating and connecting by me saying, I see you.
How many times do we just, have conversations with people or interactions with our kids or whatever, and Zoom calls, things like that. And we're not really present. We're not really present to seeing them and feeling that deeper connection. So it's so beautiful to take that pause and actually be able to acknowledge that. And I remember when you started doing that, because you did it to me too.
And it was a little uncomfortable for you.
Yeah, I was uncomfortable at times in my journey with being seen because of the stories and narratives that were going on in my own mind.
Right.
So yeah, super powerful and something to think about in your interactions. And, for those listening, in your interactions in the last 24 to 48 hours, did you actually engage with someone in a way where you saw them and they knew it, or they saw you? Well, you were aware of it.
Let's talk about our marriages for a moment, right? And this has come up, I don't know how many different times, where I expect for you to act like you always have.
Expectation based on past
experience, which is natural, which is normal.
Yeah.
But what if we could override the system? What if we could say like, today's a new day. It's I'm going to look at you with fresh eyes and an open heart. Be like, I want to get to know who you are today.
Yeah.
Because for us to say that we're different from the day that we met is like,
how many times do you say no? Because how many times do you not ask because you presume the answer will be no?
Right. Or
based on past situations.
You expect for the person to react in a certain way. And you call me out on this as well as anybody. You're like, that was past me. Don't judge me for who I was yesterday. And like legitimately, that's what we do. We judge each other for who we were yesterday.
Right. I no longer want to be held accountable for that person. That's not me.
Right. And people expect for us to be who we were yesterday. And even to the level of like, okay, let's say even like old friends, like college buddies, high school buddies, that type of stuff. Like we get together and there's this kind of like, what my biggest desire for, and if any of you are listening, what I'm going to ask you to do is to see me for who I am today. Yeah. And my commitment to you is I'm going to see you for who you are today. I'm not soy sauce anymore. Soy sauce was, the 22-year-old, guy who lived in the party house across from the street from the hospital in Ellensburg, Washington on Chestnut Street. I'm 44 years old. I have a family, multiple businesses.
You're 45. You just turned 45, my love.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm 45 years old. I'm in denial. But
today you're 45.
So to be seen. Now, here's my next question to you. So we can go down that road and keep talking about it. But here's what I want to get to is if you're uncomfortable like you were being seen, and I was at a place where I was doing so much work on myself where it's like I just want to be seen. Like I want to see myself for who I truly am. Like I'm tired of living separate. I'm tired of the narratives. I'm tired of feeling limited. I'm tired of the guilt. I'm tired of the shame. I'm tired of the doubt. I'm tired of the fear. Like I'm not living from that place anymore. So like legitimately based upon the other things I was studying at the time, like the practice became, and this is uncomfortable, and I had you do it. Remember at our old house, go stand in front of the mirror.
I have since taken many private coaching clients through that practice.
It's real.
And it's uncomfortable.
Try it though. Try to stare yourself. And I call it mirror work. I absolutely love it. And I do it now for more of like speaking life into, or like a level of manifestation, if you want to call it, or whatever it is. Right. But at that point in time, it was about creating the space, the environment within myself that was able to liberate these separate parts. So then I could see myself at least a little bit more clearly of who I truly am and what I'm truly capable of. And that this is a constant evolution. I'm not saying like, oh, look at me, that's a complete clean windshield. Like, no, like, but there was mud on
bugs keep hitting that windshield all the time, and we have to then
right. Good point. And at the time I just had gone like 4 buy-in and through mud pits, and there was mud on it, so I couldn't see out at all. Right,
completely
distorted. So it's like windshield wipers on there, right? But to legitimately go stand in front of that mirror, to look yourself dead in the eye, and to say, "I see you," and then the next level would be to say, like, "I love you." Like, I love myself. I love you. Not I love myself. Like, no, I love you. This is you. This is the self. Right. And so to say, I see you, I see you, I see you. When we both first did this in private, and then we did it together to legitimately like look in the mirror. And I want you to do it. And I want you to say, I see you. And
it's a very vulnerable position.
A ton of resistance.
Another person.
And emotions came up.
Yeah.
Like, tears, like real live release. One may judge that. Again, all that is energy liberating inside of your body. All that is stress leaving your body. And the only thing that's keeping it in there is you. So like legitimately your unwillingness to say, I see you is what's keeping yourself feeling like a pressure cooker.
Yeah. And it's keeping you from like the one thing that all human beings want more than anything, that we desire more than anything, which is belonging. And when you can belong to yourself, that's going to change the game.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, this, I don't know if this is out of context, but you want to experience more love, make yourself easier to love. And make yourself easier to love by loving yourself first, like seeing yourself. You want to see others for who they truly are? Begin to practice seeing yourself. And that starts with these separate parts. So anytime you feel the doubt, the fear, the judgment, the shame, the guilt, the whatever, right? The constrictive experience, just to be able to allow for it to be there without judgment, to accept it, to say, I see you. And this is going to begin this practice of it legitimately passing through you.
This was so hard for me doing that, just to share, doing that practice of looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. Because the narrative in my mind was like, oh, I love you, but you could lose 10 pounds, but you could be better at this, but I wish you wouldn't have done that thing, but somebody else sees you this way. It was all these other little stories, but to be able to truly clear that and look in the mirror and say, I love you. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you look like, anything else, any other story, throw it all away. I see you.
Unconditionally.
Super powerful. I mean, I remember tears and tears streaming down my face and looking at you and going like, what the heck did you just have me do?
Well, it was the beginning. It was the beginning of an opening.
Right.
of an open stance, of a curiosity. What else? Because legit, all of a sudden there was this moment of release and this moment of surrender, this moment of letting go that allowed for there to be space and allowed for that suppressed belief, that suppressed narrative, that suppressed energy to actually move. Because I'm telling you, if it's there in your consciousness where you are aware of it, it is on the surface and it is prime.
And you know what? Since that experience,
we don't have to go digging. I'm sorry, honey, but we don't have to go digging for things. They're right there. It's low hanging fruit.
Right,
let it go.
Yes, showing up in your daily experience. And since that experience, that was years and years ago, the beautiful thing that happened within my life is I had that experience and that opening within myself, which created this catalyst for further transformation. But what that did is it gave me the honor and privilege of being able to do that with other people and to sit with them in that moment for themselves. And that's one of the great honors of my life, to be able to witness somebody truly seeing themselves for the first time.
All right. So that's
really powerful.
So let before we go into that conversation,
I'm like feeling emotional right now just thinking about that.
Good. This is why we're here. We're being real. Like, again, we just I came around the corner and I said, today's podcast, Heidi, as I see you. She's like, okay, let's go hit record.
And so some of you listening might be clients, and you may have done this with one of us, and you may be going, wow,
so
okay.
When we begin to do this work of legitimately liberating, letting go of the separate self, we become more in connection with our truth, with our true essence, like of our true capabilities, of our true potential, of what true connection actually feels like.
Yeah.
Right. And understanding that this gives us the ability to be aware of, have greater connection to, and a stronger capacity to operate from that truth.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And now you got to keep the windshield clean, but that windshield gets cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, even to the point where eventually we cross this threshold. And what happens is when the separate self pops its head back up at all, like it becomes laughable. Right? And you see me do this all the time where I'm like, something will pop and I giggle. Like, you should hear what's happening in here. Like, it's ridiculous. Right. And I don't even get involved, like even to the point where it's like, it makes me laugh. And so because
the awareness, connection, and capacity has grown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awareness, the connection, and the capacity to operate from that place of pure potential. Because we all are unlimited pure potential. And the only thing that's keeping us from that experience is you.
Mm-hmm. You hear people say that all the time. I realize it. I know I'm the only person. I'm the only thing in my way is me.
It's
okay,
true.
Great. Then quit judging yourself about it.
Yeah. Just say, I see you. I see you. That's in my way. It's the only way to remove the rock from the river is to sit on the side of the river.
Yeah.
Right. This is one of Michael Singer's, way he illustrates it, right? Like legitimately, your potential is this fierce river, and there's all these boulders and rocks that are in the way that's making the river change course and create rapids and create disturbances. And problem is, you're trying to ride in the river, right? Mm-hmm. You're in there paddling your ass off trying to keep up with it, when you can just sit on the side, dangle your feet over the edge, and say, like, I see you, to the rock that's in the way, and it will then flow, and it will then push back out to the ocean where it belongs. Yeah. Right. And the river will flow more freely. The river will flow with less rapids. The river will flow and not have to change courses and directions as much. Doesn't have to recorrect, doesn't have to continue to wander. It just becomes more of a straight stream and a peaceful stream. And when you do this, then here's the thing that I had this conversation. When you remove that veil, you're not only removing it from yourself, you're removing it from others. And I remember vividly years ago when you were still working at the night market. Okay. You were doing the event coordinating for,
that's a farmer's market, you guys.
Yeah. The farmer's market down at Kendall Yards in Spokane. And I came to this place where like legitimately every single person I saw walking down that street where all the things was like, wow, look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Because I came to such a place of acceptance and I was able to see myself and the separate self to a place where like I objectified it. I removed it to enough to where I was like.
So you're saying your experience of walking through this crowded street was that you saw the other people
for who they truly
were able
were.
to see others
for who they truly were, not their separate
Beautiful.
self. Yeah. And if you could probably maybe speak to this, like, wouldn't you say that a big part of you stepping into your current power is how many times I have been able to see you for this, for who you are and who you're now stepping into.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, it's who I've always been. But some of that stuff had to get out of the way. And I think that 100%, when we can transform ourselves, when we can see ourselves, when we can step into our power, man, that opens the door. It creates a catalyst for change in our kids, in our partners, in everyone that we come into contact with. And like, what a world that would be.
Yeah.
If we could, and that's our mission, right? To one family at a time, one person at a time, one couple at a time, and therefore one child at a time, and generations forward, because of people doing all of this work to become more aware, to become more connected, to grow their capacity, to step into the truth of who they are, and to quit believing these, I want to say a cuss word, but bullcrap lies about themselves.
That's what they are.
Yeah. And just to really step into it with power and acknowledgement for what a gift it is to be you, and the fact that you being you is one in 400 trillion.
I don't know. You've said that before.
That you're you.
I don't know where that number comes from.
I mean, that just blows my mind every single time. It's like, wow. And we're in denial of that. We're not seeing ourselves or allowing ourselves to be seen. That's a darn shame.
Yeah.
So we got to change
it. Imagine the fact that you're going through life. If you aren't able to see and look at the separate self, you're not able to remove that veil. Therefore, you're not able to actually experience your true essence. And therefore, you're not able to actually experience the true essence of those which you love, you think you love, or however we define love, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine the connection of two people removing the veil and seeing each other for the first time.
Right. Yeah.
So a story this sparked this conversation was this morning. Such an incredible age, 8 and 9 years old, almost 10 years old. Our kids, boy and a girl, Colton's almost 10, Haley's 8 and a half, she would say. And they're coming online, right? They're starting to say like, who am I type of questions, right? A little bit of sense of self is starting to emerge. Yeah. And we intentionally get up and move our bodies in the morning. We do like a little 30-minute exercise regimen together. Mm-hmm. And this morning, they were both kind of a little bit distant. And Haley began to go into this, like, I don't understand. I mean, it was we're doing like a sit-up, right? It wasn't complicated.
Things that we've done before.
Yeah. And and she's kind of playing dumb a little bit. Kind of like, oh, I don't really know how to do that, Daddy. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Like, I'm not taking that. Like, I'm not going to even listen to I'm not smart enough for that. I'm not good enough for that. I'm not strong enough for that. I'm not even going to listen to those narratives because I know they're not the truth of you. Yeah. And so I stopped everything. I pushed pause on our little timer we had going. And I said, guys, you got to understand something. Like, I see you. And they both kind of look at me like, huh? I'm like, I see you for all of your potential, for all of your power, for everything that you're capable of. And then some. Like, I probably can't even see all of you, but I see enough of you to know that's not you. Mm-hmm. Like this. And so we do this work and we move intentionally and we move our bodies and we do the box breathing and we do the mindfulness practice and we do the the personal discovery work. Like yesterday, Colt and I were doing the 3 P's in one thing exercise in preparation for the Unbeatable Mind experience, and we do that work to remove the veil, to experience who we truly already are. Like, you don't have to become something different, but you got to be willing to not feed that narrative, to set it down, to let it go. And to then, when you do that, you legitimately, it's like taking the weight off, right? And if you can set something down the trail and not take it with you, guess what? It's not who you are. It's not yours. What's left is more who you are. And so I basically said to my children, and I love it, like, you can't hide from me.
Right.
And this is a conversation that I've been having with myself those last few weeks and months. And it's like, as we continue this, where we're going and where our vision is taking us in this mission-centric oriented family of like, yeah, we're doing this, is like, we're putting things in motion where you can't hide. Like, you can't hide from me. Like, you can't hide from me. It's my kids can't hide from me. You can't hide from me. Like, the world can't hide when you're able to see more of who you truly are. Now, again, the windshield has to consistently be cleaned. And it's never going to be fully cleaned, right? I mean, maybe someday, right before, the final breath, maybe it's like it'll be this windshield that's completely clear and clean. And as we're crossing over, like that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
But you can't hide from me. Any of you listening. Like, if you're involved in what we're doing, if you are listening to this podcast, you are completely unlimited. You are capable of anything. You can let go of all of the stories, the narratives, the limiting beliefs that has kept you in an experience where your windshield is dirty, and like, you can learn to begin to let that go by just softening into sitting behind it and relaxing, to allow for the stress to leave your body, by just saying, I see you. And you're going to, over time, days, weeks, months, you're going to begin to have a greater awareness, connection, and the ability to operate from who you truly are.
And this is what allows our light to shine. This is what allows our light to shine and make an impact in the lives of other people, because it's hard to shine when you're hiding.
Yeah. And our burning desire is for you to see yourself. For you to see yourself for who you truly are, right?
Yeah. Doesn't mean you need to be on a stage or doing a podcast or anything like that. What it means is that you're shining your light out there for your kids, for your team, for your community, for anyone who comes into contact with you, because you're practicing this.
Yeah. So any takeaways?
Oh, so many. Awareness, connection, and capacity, growing every single day, growing in your awareness, growing in your ability to connect to the truth of who you are, and growing in your capacity to acknowledge, but not attach to, what's coming up, and understanding that that's all just part of the human experience. Doubts, fears, limitations, these are part of the human experience, but we don't have to attach to these things. We don't have to get in the river. We can observe it, and we can continue to remind ourselves the truth of who we've come here to be. And when we do that, there's a ripple effect that impacts the lives of countless others.
Yeah.
And I see you.
And I see you. And my authentic action for the audience is for you to practice this the next time you feel constricted at all. Any sort of denseness, any sort of doubt, fear, judgment, shame, guilt, whatever it may be, just to sit behind it and say, I see you. The next step would be then to carve out 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. Go stand in front of a mirror. Close the door so you feel safe. So no one's going to judge you. You don't have to tell anybody you're doing this. And to look yourself so dead in the eye that you're staring into your soul and say, I see you. And say it once, say it 5 times. I mean, if you really want to go all in, 100 times.
Do it every day. Do it in the morning.
Do it in the morning.
Make it a practice. Yeah.
And then when you begin to have a visceral experience, you then, and while you're doing this and while you're beginning making this a practice of your own internal separate self that you are experiencing currently and allowing that to be seen, is that you begin to make it a practice to see those around you and tell them. Get on the same level as your children. Grab your significant other, embrace them, and stare them dead in the eyes and say, I see you. And then be okay with the discomfort. Be okay with that significant other. Be like, what? What are you doing? Huh? I see, yeah, whatever. I see you too. Yeah, whatever. And then just do it again. Like, no, you're not hearing me. Like, I see you. And I want to know who you are today, not who I thought you were yesterday.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share, Heids?
No, I feel like that was just such a great way to end it. So.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for your time, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening. Remember, leaders go first. Alignment matters, and the environment that you create is the legacy you'll leave. We'll see you on the next episode.